Each year, that investment income is distributed to a wide range of charities across the region according to our donors' wishes. Just reiterate, donors rule. They rule. So we hold, yes. So we hold this event, our Founders Day Picnic, in honor of our founder, John P. Ignatius, who will forever be remembered by our foundation. True to John's desire to leave a legacy, he gave an original gift of $25,000, and upon passing, on January 8th, 2000, he left the foundation more than $2.4 million. Our endowment now, thanks to the great stewardship of our board over the years, as well as prudent investing, is now over $27 million. So, yeah, awesome. Isn't that great? So in this spring event granting cycle, we're distributing about $466,000. In the course of a year, we hit over $1 million giving away to charities across our region. So, yeah. So as a land acknowledgement in the spirit of respect, truth, and reciprocity, we acknowledge the many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples who have lived in and cared for these lands for generations. We are grateful for the traditional elders and knowledge keepers who are still with us today, and for those who have gone before us. The work we do would not be possible without our incredible board, our committee members and staff. You know, our board they're a workhorse, man. You sit on the board, you sit on 3 or 4 different committees, you've always got homework, you know, you're invited to all these events. It's not a board for slackers, I'm telling you. They are really awesome. And I'm going to tell you who is on our board. If you got, as your name's called, because not everybody's here, if you wouldn't mind just standing up. Our board chair is Kyle Pudwell. Vice chair is Julie Friesen. Secretary Glenda Hawthorne. Don't clap till we're done. Ahmed Kassam, Dan Kammerer, my policy guru guy, David Andrews, Doug Little, Don McLennan, over here in the corner, Francis Barnes, also over in the corner, Jennifer Ma, Jim MacArthur, Josh Hudson's here, as is Matt Lofgren. So we'd like to give a special thanks to our board. And sadly, we're saying goodbye to 3 of them because it's not a hostage situation to sit on the board. Francis Barnes, Matt Lofgren, and Cody Ibbotson are stepping down. So thank you so much for the years you have spent guiding our organization. We really appreciate you. And you know, our board is awesome, but so is our staff, and that hasn't changed. I come back for the second time, and they're still as amazing as they were when I left. I'm just gonna do real quick. Again, hold your applause, please. So Barb's the finance guru, Sydney's our community engagement coordinator, Rianne is our brand new administrative coordinator who can fix my computer just by standing in the doorway after I've screwed something up. Lauren is our vital signs research and project coordinator. Helen is our regional development coordinator, working all out in our rural areas, in addition to Nicole, who is out in Brooks. And you all know Nikki Gray's on maternity leave. She can come back anytime. She can, so, all right. So obviously events like this are not possible without our sponsor, and we've been so fortunate to have Pritchard & Company as our sponsor for this event since 2011. So that's like 13, 14 years. So is Malcolm here as well? No, he's not. Okay. My note says he's here, so yeah. Anyhow, many of you know Les. He's also our legal counsel for the Community Foundation. So Les, come on up and say a few words, would you please?
I always have notes. So first of all, on behalf of Pritchard & Company, we want to extend our welcome to you to attend the Founders Day Picnic. You've probably heard that the Community Foundation encourages people to leave a lasting legacy through their will. And you're likely here today because you're part of a community, especially in our area, that comes together with a common goal of improving the lives of people that live here and work here, and to ensure that we're the best that we can be in this area. So, and at the same time, I'm guessing that you are a member of other communities, whether that's your work community, or your service group, or faith group, or even your friend group. And so I'm going to encourage you, as the Community Foundation aspires to have people to leave legacies to them to the benefit, that you spread the news to your other communities as well. And, if you or your friends need help with their estate plan, I know a guy. I know a guy and a few gals in our office, and so certainly myself, Malcolm Pritchard, Hillary Pritchard, and Kate Zerhan are all willing and helpful to help people with their estate plans. So we'd be lovely to talk to you if that opportunity arises. Thanks again for allowing us to host. And I'll turn the mic back. Thank you.
Don't worry about it. Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah, you just keep them for next year. All right, now we get to the really fun part. So we have a couple of impact stories that we'd like to share with you. So first of all, I would like to welcome Jan Olichowski to join me in the front. Jan and her mother, Lorraine Mock, established the Jason Mock Memorial Fund in 2007 in memory of her brother. The investment income earned on the fund is distributed to the Core Association each year. So Jan and her mom Lorraine are going to come up with a little bit, and then they're going to present the check to the Core Association.
Thank you so much. I have notes as well. Hi to everyone. My name is Jan Olichowski, and I just want to spend a few minutes telling you about the Jason Mock Memorial Fund. Jason is my brother, and unfortunately we lost him just a few weeks before his 50th birthday, almost 18 years ago. So he would have been 68 years old this August. 68 years ago, life was very different for people with developmental disabilities. At our table, we were just speaking about that. The schools were not inclusive. Many community events were not inclusive either. Education and resources were very limited. There weren't any local agencies who offered staffed residences or support at that time. Super limited resources. My brother moved to Michener Centre in Red Deer when he was 8 years old, and he lived there for 23 years before he moved back to Medicine Hat. He went to school at Michener Centre until he was 16, and then he worked in their wood shop and on their farm and lived in staffed residences at Michener Centre. He came home to spend all holidays with us. I remember loading up the car. I have 3 brothers, so I remember loading up the car with all the brothers, our family dog, and away we'd go up to Red Deer to get him home. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, summer. It was always the trek back and forth to Red Deer. I know Michener Centre has some sordid stories in their past, but I remember that my brother was always excited to come home and always excited to go back. Those are my memories of him at Michener. Jason was living in Michener Centre in Red Deer in 1986 when Core Association called my parents and offered to make all the arrangements to move him back to Medicine Hat and have him reside in a staffed residence here in the Hat. So all those years ago, Rita Besant, Sale Belfo, and Daryl Schul were the Core staff members who drove to Red Deer. They took a van up there and they moved Jason home. So that one trip changed the trajectory of his life and that of his family and friends. And he resided in staffed residences with Core for 19 years until his passing. Jason absolutely loved living in Medicine Hat. He loved living close to his family and friends. He loved being part of the community. He loved going out for pizza. I mean, we spent months, if you add it all up, in Pizza Hut, I'm sure. Tim Hortons sprinkle donuts, they were very dear to his heart. Each year, he and his roommates, Oli just reminded me of this last night, said, remember he and his roommates hosted a Canada Day brunch at his house. And so we'd all go down there for brunch, and then we'd head down to Kincooley or wherever the party was to get his face painted, and we'd get our Canada flag tattoos, and then we'd wrap it all up with the fireworks. So lots of fun in the community. Honestly, July 1st has never been the same for me. CORE organized a very full life for Jason, supported him to do all the things that he loved. He loved bowling league, he loved friendship club, especially when he got the mic and got to sing. His very first love, though, was the art program at CORE. Oh, he just loved being part of that so much. He found so much joy in painting and creating art projects. It fostered his creativity and really enriched his life so much. He really lived a full and happy life, surrounded by his family and friends, and CORE was always there to provide the support to him that he needed, and for that we're super grateful. After Jason passed away, we wanted to do something to honor him and honor his life. And so when we were thinking about a legacy for him, we knew the art program at CORE was the perfect choice. Community Foundation was super helpful. They helped us set everything up, ensured that donations stay in the fund, and then the annual interest is paid to CORE to help support the art program. And over the years, the funds continue to grow, and I want to thank CORE Management and Board of Directors for their recent, very generous donation to the fund. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Lanny. I brought bookmarks that we had made, which showcase some of Jason's art, and they look like this. And they're just on the little table when you are leaving, so please help yourself to them. It was some of his favorite pieces we had put on a bookmark. Thank you so much, Sydney. Thanks for inviting me and to the Community Foundation as well for the opportunity to talk to you about Jason and about his fund today. Thanks so much.
So Wendy and Lanny are here? Just Wendy?
Yeah, Lanny's here too. Yeah.
It's Wendy. Okay. Photographer, smile. Thank you. Thank you. Nice. Do you want to say something? Oh, you can if you want. You got to keep it short.
Okay, it's very short, very short. First of all, I wanted to thank the Community Foundation for inviting us and the Mock family for their continued support of our art program. And on a side note, we'll be celebrating 70 years of service provision in Medicine Hat over the next several months. We know that the art program at CORE was one that Jason especially enjoyed, and it's very popular for the people that we currently serve. We offer instruction and experience in a number of mixed media art projects that our individuals can participate in. These art projects afford the people we serve with a vehicle to express not only aspects of their personality, thoughts and feelings, but the group work provides a social atmosphere that fosters friendships. These are important factors that we look at when we're assessing quality of life for the people we serve. And earlier this month, our board of directors contributed $10,000 to the fund. This will not only make the fund grow over time, but make it more sustainable. And we are excited to be looking at other forms of self-expression that are going to include things like dance, drama, and music. We may also be able to potentially reduce the cost of supplies for the individuals. They're paying on a cost recovery basis as it is. So again, thanks to the Community Foundation for helping us with the fund and the Mock family for their continued support.
Oh, Wendy, don't forget your money. Jan, I'm curious, was Jason at Michener Center in the summer of 1978? Oh, okay, that was my first job there, running a summer, or working at a summer camp for them, so I was curious if he was there. All right, secondly, our donor advised funds. At the Community Foundation, we hold a number of donor advised funds, so these funds allow donors to make a charitable contribution as often as they wish and receive the tax deduction. And then they get to choose the charities that go to them, that receive the money year after year. So we have 3 funds that we're going to disperse. And first of all, I'd like to call up Ian and Phyllis McLaughlin because they have 2 of our funds. And Ian and Phyllis have been just rock solid donors to the Community Foundation and good stewards of their funds as well. So Ian and Phyllis, would you like to come up? So Phyllis has her own fund, and Ian and Phyllis have a joint fund. So would you like to do the talking, or would you like?
I don't want to talk at all.
Okay, you don't have to. I always just want to give you the option for the fame and glory.
You told me that, so I didn't prepare anything.
It's okay, that's all right. Okay, so Phyllis's fund that she has selected is to the Friends of Medelta Society. So I know we have someone there. Wait, so, do you want a picture taken?
I'm not sure if I do or not. But
What?
Thank you so much. Okay, let's go let's shake hands.
Okay,
We'll hold this up,
all right.
and it'll be a great photo. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Good.
I'm good.
Okay.
We're good. Okay, thank you. Okay, but now you're next. Come on, Ian, come on. So for Ian and Phyllis's fund, the recipient is the Family YMCA of Medicine Hat. So Sharon, would you mind coming up?
Dude. Good.
Thank you. So our third fund is going to the Special Olympics Alberta Summer Games. So Dr. Sauer. So there was a fund established in 2008, the Summer Games Fund, and the investment income from that is going to the Special Olympics.
I'm going to say a few more words than that.
I figured you were. Just let me start my timer.
Unaccustomed as I am to any public speaking, I need to tell you just a little story. In 2002, the Alberta Games were held in Medicine Hat, and we had a surplus left over of about 100 and some thousand. And at that particular time, Mike Christie, just
No
like
relation.
No relation, but he encouraged us to set up an endowment at the community foundation. And I want to let you know the story. So we put in the money in the endowment, and each year the interest from that has gone to help 20 different kind of organizations. Now, what goes around comes around, and so the Game Society invests in the endowment. And just to show you the value of this, all these people have enjoyed the interest rates, and now the Special Olympics that are coming here on August the 9th to the 16th in 2026. We're going to use this interest for the last 2 years, 2022, when they announced it, and in the next one, and we're going to buy the medals for the Special Olympics. And you see what's happened? The story comes from the Game Society back to the Game Society, and it'll keep revolving forever. So there is some value in setting up an endowment. And without any ado, I'm going to just simply say, I have an application in for a grant from the Community Foundation. So, Madam Chair, Francis, and the Board of Directors, please think of us because it could come back to you in some receipts of some sort. So thank you very much for this. We're going to buy those medals, and when you see those Special Olympics intellectually disabled people coming into Medicine Hat from across Canada, and then those medals, you say, oh, that's what happened. The interest from the endowment helps them. Thank you very much.
That doesn't help you get a grant. I just have to say that on the record. So our second impact speaker, I'd like to introduce from Medicine Hat Family Service, Selena Simmons, the Executive Director, and Ben Fire, one of the staff there. They received a $20,000 grant last fall for training for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. And play therapy, but they'll tell you all about this. So, Selena, we'll start with you.
I was really hoping to ask for funds like Dr. Sauer, but I guess that's out of the question. So first of all, we wanted to, thank the Community Foundation for their ongoing support of Medicine Hat Family Service. Medicine Hat Family Service has been a part of this community for over 64 years, started as well by Sale Bellefowl. So that man has made a difference in this community like you can't believe. So we're here today because we got a grant to do some training for our staff for some very specialized therapy so that people who could not afford to pay directly for therapy could access specialized service. And I think that that's so important that we understand that Medicine Hat Family Service has qualified, amazing people who are very specialized in what they do, but we're subsidized by our community in order to offer these kinds of services to everyone. And so I brought along Ben with me because he's a smart guy and he knows all about EMDR. So he's going to tell you a little bit about it, tell you a little bit about the impact that we've seen in our community so far and what we're looking forward to in the future.
More than 1 or 2 times it was emphasized to me that I have 4 to 5 minutes of your time, not 45 minutes, which if any of you have heard me talk about EMDR, you know that that's an important distinction. So if you happen to let me catch you after this, you may be stuck for a while. But looking at, I guess, what we've been able to do with this grant, having 2, soon to be 3 of us trained in EMDR. I unfortunately don't have the time to really get into the nuts and bolts of what makes EMDR so unique and such an incredible therapy. But I can say that EMDR is the most researched and the #1 recommended trauma-informed treatment recommended by the American Psychological Association. So it's not a niche, new, it really works, and we've got a lot of research to back that up. The biggest thing that has prevented it from being more widespread is just the inaccessibility. It costs a lot of money to get trained. It takes a lot. Of time. There aren't very many people who can do it, and so it is often recommended to people, but there's just nowhere that they can find that they can get in, or they can find somebody who will see them in 8 to 10 weeks, and it's going to be, $300 a session, and that's just not feasible for so many people. And so, looking at what this grant has allowed us to do, the avenues that it's opened up for us, the analogy that I've been using a lot is that traditional talk therapy works for so many things in so many ways, but it can at times be kind of like mowing your lawn and just sort of mowing over all the dandelions. You do it and it looks great and we feel good about it, but in a few days, pop, 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 all these flowers are coming back up. And I was finding that with many of my clients, especially the ones who were suffering the most with trauma, was that we were talking and they were feeling really good about things, and then they would go away for a few months and then they come back and it's just, dealing with a lot of the same things. and that intellectually they could understand. And so one of the clients that I'll just share very briefly about was a client who had a phobia of flying. And so they had a lot of family out in Eastern Canada that they had not visited in 15 to 20 years because it was just too far, and they were not too far to drive for them, and they were deathly afraid of flying. And logically, they knew that, well, flying is safer than driving. They knew all the statistics, they knew all of the things, but yet when it came to booking that ticket, when it came to going and getting on that plane, their body would literally take over, and it was just not possible. The anxiety was so high. And that is an unfortunately common story, even outside of something like a phobia, but where we know exactly how we want to respond, we know exactly what we want to say, we know exactly how we want to feel, and logically it all makes sense, but all it takes is that one little thing to trigger us, and our body takes over. And so EMDR has really allowed myself and some of my colleagues to really help people get their brain and their heart to match up. So allowing them to actually see some healing, actually see some progress, so that it's not just, well, I know that I should feel like this, or they'll sit on the couch in my office and they'll explain to me exactly why I'm afraid of this, or they'll explain exactly where it comes from, but it just doesn't end up always making a difference in the end. And so EMDR has really been a really fantastic tool in helping those to line up and really getting those dandelions out at the root, so that people are able to come and see me for a while, and then I say in the nicest way possible, I hope I never hear from you again. And so thinking about the Community Foundation and their goal of having long-lasting, permanent change in our community, I think it's been such a natural fit to help to actually heal people and relieve them of the stress and the trauma that they're under. So I don't know how I did for time, but I should probably end it there. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Now we'd like to announce the winner of our $25,000 Community Impact Awards. So Josh Hudson, who is the chair of our Community Leadership Committee, they're the committee that review all the applications and listen to the presentations and recommend the decision to the board. So Josh?
Well, maybe you don't want. There you go.
Thank you. All right, so my name's Josh Hudson. I've been with the Community Foundation Board of Directors for I think almost 3 years now. During the entire time I've been with the Community Foundation, I've also been had the privilege of serving as a chairperson for the Community Leadership Committee. We have so many committees and acronyms, I get them mixed up sometimes. One of the duties and privileges of that committee is to award this award, to evaluate all the applications coming in and award a single agency $25,000 that has an innovative project idea, demonstrates creativity and leadership, and supports vibrant, healthy, and caring communities. Using information from the Vital Signs Report, the last one we did is in 2023, agencies with projects that address the priorities of work and economy, connection and belonging, and basic needs, specifically food, housing, and health, were invited to apply. 3 finalists, we had, I believe, 12 initially, but we narrowed it down to a list of 3 finalists, were then selected to present their projects to the committee in person. And I will tell you now, we had an incredibly difficult time based on the quality of the applications to narrow it down to a single winner. Any of those 3 were amazingly deserving projects. But our committee and the Community Foundation Board of Directors have chosen to give this prestigious $25,000 award to the Neighborhood Associations of Medicine Hat. This innovative project will provide backbone support for the launch and ongoing work of neighborhood associations in and around Medicine Hat. Neighborhood associations are a group of residents who meet regularly to plan and promote community-based activities that enhance the quality of life for those living within a specific boundary. The association can plan special events to build relationships and support a fun place to live, provide community programs to feel connected, facilitate participation in the planning and development of their community, and create safer neighborhoods. Neighborhood associations provide a sense of place and belonging within a community. So please, I gotta flip back because we reordered a couple things. Sydney's gonna just be all sorts of frustrated with me. But please join me in welcoming Chantel Ottenbreit and Siddiqui Pamparineza to accept this award.
I'm sorry.
Thanks, Josh. So on to our community grants. So I'd like to introduce you to Glenda Hawthorne, our board member and grants committee chair, along with Sydney Ratzlaff, community engagement coordinator, and they get the fun job of giving out the money for the spring community grants.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Sydney Ratzlaff. I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator, and Glenda and I are pleased to announce that we are distributing almost $215,000 to 28 organizations through our community grants this spring. So our community grants are made possible by donors who allocate their donations to the greatest needs across Southeastern Alberta. Donors can create a fund, donate regularly, or make a one-time contribution to support the Community Grants Fund. Join me in thanking our amazing donors who choose to support the community grants. When reviewing the many grant applications, our grants committee considers the guidelines, our vital signs priority areas, and the funds available, as they reviewed 36 applications this year. I'd like to recognize the grants committee members who have joined us today. Please stand when I call your name. We have Glenda Hawthorne, we have Frances Barnes, Jamie Nelson, Dawn McLennan, there he is. And Shauna Dickey, did she come? Yes, there she is. Hi. Thank you so much for being here, and to all our amazing grants committee members. I'm sorry if I missed anyone, if you snuck in, I'm just trying to glance around the room. So since CFSEA covers such a wide geographical area, we also rely on our 4 rural advisory committees to review the applications for their respective areas. We have Brookson District, we have County of 40 Mile, we have the special areas and the MD of Acadia, as well as Cypress County. So this afternoon we will be announcing the recipients from Medicine Hat and Redcliffe, as well as Cypress County. The other rural areas will be holding separate local events to celebrate their recipients. So we will announce the recipients and take a quick picture up at the front when I call your name. So here we go. So the Women's Shelter, they are currently renovating and expanding their emergency shelter. This grant will support the Phoenix Safe House Emergency Shelter with 6 new bunk beds and mattresses. This shelter is a safe temporary home for those fleeing family violence. I'd like to invite up Executive Director Natasha Carvello and Director of Administration and Operations Jennifer Ottenbreit to accept this grant of $10,000. Congratulations. Thank you. So the Mustard Seed Medicine Hat cares for individuals experiencing homelessness and poverty, offering a meal program, emergency shelter, and a wellness center for basic services, which is where their new foot care clinic will take place. We'd like to invite up Elizabeth Aist, Health and Wellness Supervisor, and Jordan Avery, Community Impact Lead, to accept a grant of $14,212 for their foot care clinic.
Congratulations. We'll just take a little picture.
Next up, Wellspring Alberta serves individuals living with cancer, those diagnosed, their caregivers, and kids. This grant for Care Connect will ensure that no one faces cancer alone by providing an in-person program in Medicine Hat to facilitate connection and community for people living with cancer. I'm pleased to invite up Crystal Hansen, Strategic Partnerships Coordinator, and Sarah Denver, Community Connector Volunteer, to accept this grant of $15,000. Thank you. The Alzheimer's Society of Alberta and Northwest Territories is receiving $2,000 to support the Memory Kits project. Memory kits will be available to borrow from the public library and will include items for music making, stimulating memories and conversations, strengthening relationships, and enhancing the quality of life for people living with dementia. I would like to welcome Chantel Patterson and Christine with the Alzheimer's Society to accept this grant. Congratulations, Chantal. The Salvation Army received full funding for their computer upgrades project. Efficient, reliable computers are an essential component of all the programs and services they provide as they support the vulnerable populations in our city. We invite Major Norman Hamlin and Cindy Hamlin to accept this grant of $4,960. They are not here. We will mail it to them. The Medicine Hat Family Fun and Flight Committee plans to deliver a one-day aviation experience for thousands of people from Southeastern Alberta on July 22nd, 2024 at the Medicine Hat Regional Airport. There will be flying demonstrations along with displays of aircraft and aviation exhibits for all ages to enjoy at no cost. We'd like to invite Robbie Watson and Trisha Nadari to accept this grant of $5,000 to support this project. And Paul. Oh, darn. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. Oh dear. Next up, we have the Town of Redcliffe Library Board, which provides residents with a community hub that is safe and clean, offering literacy, entertainment, meaningful programs, and inclusive community resources. This grant to reupholster 7 reading chairs will increase the longevity and cleanliness of their furniture. I'd like to welcome Robin Orthner, Board Chair, and Tracy Laturnis, Library Manager, to accept this grant of $3,500 for their Furnishing Recovery Initiative. Thanks. Congratulations. Thanks. The Medicine Hat SPCA provides protective care for sick, injured, and unwanted animals. Their proposal was to launch their new humane education program, which will provide classroom presentations rooted in cultivating empathy and compassion for students, as well as field trips to tour the shelter. We'd like to invite Executive Director Kaylee Gertz and Fund Development Manager Morgan Widmer to accept this grant of $5,200 to support this project. Thank you. The Redcliffe Legion provides support and services to veterans and their families. It also serves as a community hub for many groups and occasions. This grant will ensure they can repair and update their electrical system, making the building more energy efficient and safe for all patrons. We invite up Legion member and grant writer Al Carruthers to accept this grant of $7,712 for electrical upgrades. The All Saints Anglican Church applied to install a chair stair lift, which will be a welcomed addition to their building for those with mobility issues. This new accessibility feature pairs with their outside ramp and railings in the bathroom, making this a valued place for all members and community programs. I'd like to welcome Reverend Guy Snell and Valerie Robertson to accept this $10,000 grant. Okay. The Sonari Center provides a safe healing space for those who have experienced violence and trauma, offering support services, education, and advocacy. Their 15-week group therapy course provides tools, education, and support for parenting children who have experienced sexual abuse. I would like to welcome Amy Sarsons, Clinical Coordinator, and Sabrina Prince, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Advocate, to accept this grant of $9,158 for their group therapy program. Congratulations. Last but certainly not least, the Medicine Hat YMCA offers numerous programs to inspire youth and families to reach their full potential. Their grant application to support Camp Jude has been approved for $25,000 of funding, of which $1,380 comes from the Danny Cook Memorial Field of Interest Fund. Camp Jude is an innovative licensed day camp that provides summer programming for children who have experienced trauma and as a result have been unsuccessful in traditional day camps due to mental health and behavioral challenges. For campers, Camp Jude increases social inclusion and a sense of belonging. I'd like to welcome Sharon Hayward, Executive Director, and Kirsten Dietrich, Director of Philanthropy, to accept this grant. Thank you. We also have community grants which are awarded in special areas and the MD of Acadia. Those include the Prairieland School Division for Ontario School, New Brigden Community Associations, Empress and District Historical Society, Oyen and District Historical Society, the Oyen Minor Hockey, and the Sibbald Community Club for a total of $42,767. And the grants awarded in the Brookson District include the Champion Center, Brookson District Museum, Bassano FCSS, Duchess Community Garden, and Crossroads Clinic for a total of $32,522. And the County of 40 Mile is receiving 2 grants, one for St. Michael's Church and one for North 40 Mile Recreation Society for a total of $3,776. And as I mentioned, those grants will be presented in their respective communities. Now I'd like to invite up Gerald Sept, Chair of the Cypress County Advisory Committee, and Helen Nicholson, our Regional Development Coordinator, to present our 2 grants within Cypress County. Gerald, here's the mic.
Thanks, Sydney.
Good afternoon. My name is Gerald Sept. I'm the chair of the Cypress County Community Fund Advisory Committee, which was formed in 2021. I'd also like to acknowledge Colton Weisgerber, Della Burkett, Barry Neubauer, and Don McLennan, who are also on the committee and are joining us today. We have 4 rural advisory funds that were established to serve the charitable needs of the specific geographical regions within southeastern Alberta. These 4 permanent endowment funds were established by local residents, enabling the community to give where you live. 3 other rural communities are Brooks and District, County of 40 Mile, and Prairie Crocus. And they'll be presenting in the next couple of weeks. Today I'm pleased to present 2 awards on behalf of the Cypress County Community Fund. The first award, the Prairie Rose School Division, will be launching a new program called Ag Pro Career and Technology course. This course will help students form a greater understanding of agricultural careers and be available for all schools in the region. We are pleased to award a grant of $7,500, of which $4,060 come from the Claude Bishop Fund. Here to accept this grant is Nicole Neubauer, who has been spearheading the program on behalf of the Prairie Rose School Division. The Prairie Gleaner Society provides dehydrated vegetable soup mix bags to developing countries in need, as well as the local area. They have a current goal to build 4 dehydrators by the end of the year to keep up with the rising needs. Their application has been approved for $10,000, which will help them build a new dehydrator, of which some of the money is coming from the Barry and Janet Neubauer Fund, and $610 from the Cypress County Community Fund. We'd like to call up Jim Grossman, Treasurer, to accept the award.
I'll take it.
You'll take it first.
Thank you. Thank you all. Congratulations to everyone. Just as a final item, hands up if you've heard of 7 over 70. Okay, we're getting there. Okay. So the Top 7 over 70 initiative celebrates innovative or new achievements of individuals over the age of 70 who make significant contributions in fields such as science, literature, sports, agriculture, philanthropy, and the arts. But they have to do it after the age of 70. So it's not a lifetime service award, because then Dr. Sauer would get it. But that once they retired and they went on to do something kind of remarkable, demonstrating the ongoing impact of seasoned community members who defy age norms, shape our world, and continue to inspire. This award emphasizes that age is not a barrier to innovation, creativity, and positive society impacts. So we're looking for nominations for individuals from across Southeastern Alberta that will be put forward at our gala event on October 10th at Medelta of this year. So if you're interested, if you know a superstar senior over 70, please contact Frances Barnes. She's our chair of our nominating committee. Or if you're a business that would like to help sponsor the event, please speak to any one of our board members or our community foundation staff. I think it's going to be great fun. It's going to be a huge event. It's formatted after the one done in Calgary that was a huge success, so we're really excited about being a part of this event. So in closing, I'd just like to thank all of our speakers, our donors, grant recipients, and supporters for coming this afternoon. Thank you to Paradise Golf Course for feeding us. Thank you, that was great. stand for chomping at the bit to have lunch. And thank you again to Pritchard and Company, Malcolm and Les, for your sponsorship. Couldn't do it without you. And we're honored that donors believe in our vision and choose to support their communities with gifts through the Community Foundation. So thank you very much, everybody. Have a great afternoon, and we'll see you hopefully in the November event. November. Good night.